Test, 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 test. Okay, good morning. New mic position. hopefully, hopefully the sound is still clear. Let me know if it's too soft. Okay, just please let me know in chat if when the sound gets too soft. All right, all right, all right, all right. Let's get it. Okay, so yesterday there's quite a few stocks that moved yesterday. So CN Asia is one of the runners, one of the goreng stocks, I'd say. One of the stocks that has been fried up quite a while ago. If we look on a daily chart, you can see that it literally went up like 200% in like 6 days. 6 days, 200%. And of course, sharp fall. Did I get any trades on this? Yeah, okay, I caught a dip buy on CN Asia quite a while ago. And I think the start of January, I tried to catch a recovery on this gap down as well. But obviously, I mean, clearly it failed. For some reason, it's been picking up volume again. And it limit up yesterday, so I am quite interested to see whether there's gonna be some volume today as well. So this will be on my watch for the morning. I might have to redraw all of these lines, so maybe we can do that real quick in a second. And then also Heng Yuan on the side. Heng Yuan, another one who had quite a big run a few days ago. If the chart will load. Not a few days ago, but in December it had quite a strong run. But it's been on a downtrend since. Again, another one of those companies that just suddenly popped up again. This is in oil and gas refinery. Seems like the gloves are going to gap down a little bit. Great Tech as well yesterday had very, very nice breakouts. If you were watching yesterday morning, you would have seen the two breakouts that happened. Okay, let me get a few lines, support lines drawn on CN Asia just to identify where the major resistances are at. Very obvious resistance right here, previous pivot around 185. These lines are usually just reference points, and I don't trade it to the dollar. I don't trade it to the exact cent. Okay, looks like the market opened already. CN Asia gapped up pretty hard. Gapped up to 182. You can see a huge buy order at 181. That's probably going to hold it up for a while. Well, at least I assume so. If it dips, where can we pick it up? There's literally no support. You can see, I can't see any support over the past few days. It's just been tumbling down and down and down. Maybe we can justify this as a potential bounce right here. A hit here, point. Rebounded a little bit. Still not very reliable, to be honest. So, top glove, gap down. If you've watched my video, a quick analysis on top glove. So if you watch my video, my quick analysis on top glove, you would have seen that I marked out this. Trading view is quite laggy today. I marked out this zone where there's a lot of consolidation. So no surprise that we're gonna see the price bounce within this box. So some people would see that as an opportunity to trade, where if the price comes down to this support zone, they will try to buy and then sell it on the way up here. But that's not my style, so I'm going to avoid that. But if it can dip down all the way to the support zone in straight red candles, then okay, I might look for potential play. So CN Asia was my top watch for the day because it kept up. It limit up yesterday. If it can continue dipping, if it can continue pulling some selling volume all the way down to 169, there might be a small potential entry, just a very small one, just to test the support. The support of the previous day's close. Top glove still selling off. If top glove drops below 670, then I might have some interest. If you see any stocks that you want me to have a look at, right, let me know in the comments and I'll have a quick look. For now, I'm just watching mainly Top Glove and CN Asia. Looks like CN Asia is already trying to rebound. Dip was quite big. So on look, and it rejected our resistance line pretty well. Ooh, Top Glove going down below 670. Gonna catch my interest for a short while. See whether we can catch some sort of... Wow, trading view is quite laggy today. Ooh. So I'm gonna pull off Supermax on the side just to see when oh, it already started to rebound. Okay, never mind. Morning, Huang. What an egg. Good morning to everybody. So I was watching Top Glove for some kind of rebound, but I mean, it did approach arguably this little support area of 666, kind of. But since it didn't drop to as low to the zone that we want to buy, just gonna leave it alone. So right now, CN Asia looks like it might be able to push up all the way through 185. So possible entry on this U-shaped morning. After a strong day, we see a bit of sell-off into continuation. Almost like a mini dip, but we enter a lot later. How reliable is this this pattern? I'd say I wouldn't call it a pattern, but how reliable is it to buy a continuation after a strong day? I think that's largely depends on the volume. For now, it looks like the chances of it pushing through 185 is not bad. If we can build some support on the buy side, if you can see on the bottom left, right? Do you see this gap right here? So that is one of the scary parts. And there we go. The gap that I just pointed out from 180 to 176. There was a huge gap that anybody could clear 6 cents. Like right here, anybody who decides to sell 176 will clear 180 to 176. So no, kind of reluctant to try and play this because first of all, it did quite a bit. So following the logic from yesterday, the amount of buyers right here could have been this much if we had a curl around this region. rather than this low. So another potential play would be, if it rejects right here, this could be an attempt. So we'll see how it treats the 185 level first. If it starts to break 185 on this push, I'm not going to enter. Everything else looks quite normal. Yes, this stream is public, at least for now. Yeah. One thing I want to update everybody is let me see, 1 second. So I recently unlisted all of my live trades from my channel. So if you see right here, it used to be filled with all of my live trades. You can still watch them. It's in a playlist. So if you go to my homepage and you look down here, it's still all here. All my live trades are still here. It's just I wanted to declutter my profile a little bit, so I will only keep the past 7 to 10 days worth of live stream replays on my channel, in case you want to watch all the replays. IOIPG popping up. What's IOIPG? Properties group. Okay. Nice strong green start to the day. And if you know my breakout pattern, you know what I want to look for next. You know what is structure number 2. Okay, Heng Yuan looks like dog shit, so closing that. CN Asia, okay, a little bit of rejection here, so looking pretty okay. Again, this could be, oops, I forgot to change back to trading. My bad. Now this will be a good lesson again for all of the students. Webinar next Friday. Huge volume candle on this, but I didn't move much the price at all. For those of you who are in the live trading Discord chat, right, feel free to unmute and ask me anything at any time, okay? So still waiting for the second structure to form on IOI. We're getting the first push already. Now waiting for the second structure. Waiting for the first pullback. And then we'll start looking at it. So CN Asia, it really wants to test 185. But one thing you will instantly notice, one thing you should instantly notice, is the bottom left here. You should pay as much attention to the orders as you do on the charts, right? Once you lock your eyes on the charts and you know the reference price that you are looking at, I usually just start looking at the orders, and that's where I do most of my analysis from there on. So huge support, not huge, but decent support at 174, 175, 76, 78, 79, very, very thin. So the risk here is, if you were to buy into 185, you got to make sure that somebody is ready to catch you in case the stock starts to fall. So these levels are sort of giving me some worry in case I buy in, let's say 300 lots, right? Let's say I buy 300 lots at 185. What if it breaks through? What if from 180 to 184, all of the orders are only 20, 30 lots? If I want to clear 300 lots, I won't be able to fill at the desired price. I will have to fill a bit here, a bit lower, a bit lower, a bit lower, and it brings down my average price, and that will hurt. So there's two ways to go around this. That is something you will learn in the students class. If you're interested to sign up, it's only $149 a month for webinars. Technically, you're paying 35 ringgit a webinar. 35 ringgit a webinar, that is like 1/3 a tuition teacher rate. But this tuition teacher teaches you how to make money. So make sure you sign up. First link in the description to join my Discord group. So right now, I'm just running down the list. All I see is, when I see like these 3% moves, I don't really get, it doesn't really catch my eye, because they usually look very bad like this. Whoa. You see that quick top cliff candles. There we go, first pullback coming, possibly. Let's see it pull back. I want to pull back maybe down to about 140. So how's everybody doing today? 11 viewers. Nice. There we go. Exactly what the doctor asked for. Retracement down to 140. Probably can hold 139, 138. And then we slowly see the churn sideways. Right. Structure 1 complete. Now we're building structure 2. Let's see if we can get this. So if you're wondering how I know roughly where the stocks will shoot or will retrace to, honestly, the past few days, all my calls have been on point, but it's not always like that. Usually, it's all just an estimate, right? It's all just an estimate, and this comes with experience. No matter how much I teach you, I won't be able to tell you exactly how the market moves because it keeps changing. But trust me, the more you look at the market, the more you get familiar with identifying how these kind of stocks move, especially in Bursa, right? It will become almost natural, where you have a structure, you want to see something form. And usually the ones that you stick to will form those patterns. And those that most likely won't form those patterns, you would have closed it long ago already. So obviously this isn't an ideal consolidation. Right? I want to see it flat here. Okay. So let's see whether it can respect this green line that I just drew. Whether it can bounce a bit, at least for 15 to 20 minutes. So this is one of those patterns that you will see a lot if you trade, if you look for breakouts specifically. I don't have a name for this, but it always looks like this, right? It's almost like a gun shape. If you want to put a name to it, it looks like a gun where there is a very big dip, a big V shape at the start, and then it flatlines. So it respects. I mean, it's sort of a breakout pattern, but the other way around. if you notice what my breakout pattern usually looks like, it's a inverted V into a flat line. Now this is a V into a flat line. So this is one pattern that I am looking to start tracking. So right now I don't want to give you too many preemptive numbers on it. But from my memory, I think in about 50% of the time when it breaks through, it will act like a normal breakout. Let's see if I can remember any stocks that look like this. Let me test my memory and see. So right now, nothing is really moving in the way that we want. IYPG is sort of trying to consolidate here. So I'm just going to try and identify what is the high of the day. 146 is the high of the day. So I'm going to place an alert at 145 in case it starts to pop up when I'm not looking. Right, Inari, I can go ahead and close this. Let's do a quick sweep on all of the stocks on my watch list. SCIB. So this process usually takes just like a few seconds. When you get used to looking at the stocks, you can instantly identify which stocks have the potential to move. Now, my challenge will be, I want to find a stock that has this almost exact same pattern. Let's call it the gun pattern or the inverse breakout pattern. And let's see whether it ends up breaking out or not. So do a short live back testing, right? Trying to look for patterns. Why is TradingView so laggy today? Like, it's not loading the charts. So if any of you are wondering how I backtest, this is literally how I backtest, okay? So I identify a pattern, I identify a shape, or if you have like a mechanical pattern where you want to look for if it goes up percent and comes down how many percent, this is how you do it. You literally know exactly what you're looking for. You open the charts and you scroll backwards and you try to identify, you try to look for the pattern, you try to look for the shape. So right now we're identifying this shape, okay? Oh my god, it's so laggy. I think entire solution should have this pattern, honestly. Let's see. Am I the only one who is facing this lag? Is anyone else having this TradingView lag? Where like my charts are not loading. I guess you could consider this, right? Anybody else see this? Would you consider this? So first step is to identify these patterns, right? Second step is to decide whether you're going to consider this as the same pattern, right? And then you have a look, you just start putting down your what's the word for it? Man, my mind is so blocked. What's the word for when you put numbers to certain ranges to do like calculations and testings? Not dimensions, right? You know, you don't set dimensions when you're doing like testing, when you're doing anyways, I hope you get what I mean. So let's see. Oh, it's starting to break already. I guess this almost could be a literal, not range, but you set a number for what the high of the day is, or how many percent it dips before it rebounds. What is the word for that? Gene tech. It's pulling up. So Gene Tech, nice morning move, very nice morning move. But didn't hit our volume requirement of 1 million. So didn't really pop up on our screener. But anyways, it didn't consolidate long enough for us to want to have any interest. So when I'm looking for stocks, right, I'm looking for, obviously, this is, not to say perfect, but this is usually what I look for. Hopefully you're learning from how I think, right? Instead of waiting for me to tell you what to do. I saw the strong move, instantly caught my attention, and then I started to look at it and say what I want to see next. And then since it played out, I'm still watching it. And since it's still forming structure too, I'm still watching it. If it started to dip all the way down, let's say here, I would have closed it already. So maybe this is a reverse breakout pattern. Instead of this, maybe it works like this. I'm still trying to figure out the word. Oh my god, it's there. It's like right there, but I just can't pull it out of my head. When you're testing, you need to set the, not dimensions, but not peripherals, but parameters. Exactly. Yes, that is the word. Thanks, Jim. Oh my god. So yeah. That is the exact word that I wanted. Parameters. So you saw how I tried to look for this shape, right? Okay, so I was looking for the shape, and then I found the shape. But if I were really backtesting, I would start to draw parameters on, like, let's say possible parameters could be, okay, I want to know how much it pushed up first. So let's say it pushed up 20 cents. I note that down. Okay, from open. So I note down the open price. I note down the high of the day price. Okay, for those of you who want to learn I think this is one of the most important parts of trading. Just to how to test, because when you start testing on your own, trust me, you will have trouble knowing what to look for. So this could be a good live stream to replay. So I'll test I'll note down parameters like open, yesterday's close, right, and then how much higher it pushed up before the first dip. So I would say open at something like yesterday's close was 169. High of the first push is 185. So low of the first dip is 172. So from that, you can start calculating things like, if you have let's say 50 samples, you can test like how many of them dipped more than 10 cents, or how many of them. You can do it in absolute sense, you can do it in percentage, you can do it in however ways you want, how many red candles it had, how many cents it dropped, right? So I can say it dropped 10 cents, and then maybe over 50 samples, you will see like on average it drops about 6.5 cents, let's say. Okay, I'm just saying some random numbers. Then we can calculate next how much it retraced, right? How much it rebounded. And maybe you can build a strategy where it's like, so on average, this pattern only works if the initial move is more than 10 cents, if the retracement is more than 5 cents, if it rebounds more than 80% of the move, consolidate for let's say half an hour, right? And then, where is my volume? Here we go. And then you might track the volume as well. If the volume starts to push above, let's say the 10 minute average, then it has a 60% chance of winning, right? So you write all of that down into an Excel, and then you do your test. You can, there's no limit to what you can track, right? The rule of thumb is, when you're first starting, there's no such thing as too much data, right? The more data you have, the more options you have. So some things you might find useless, like how many minutes it consolidated, right? So let's say the rebound high is over here, then you can calculate how many minutes did it consolidate before it pushed up. Let's say it starts pushing up here, and you can start to calculate, oh, it consolidated for 24 minutes, and then over 50 samples you can see, oh, it consolidates for an average of 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. So you can gather data like this and refine your strategy as much as you can. So to give you an example of how I tested my breakouts, what's the high of the day? 146. There's still a lot of resistance to go, so no rush for this. So to give you an example of what I test for my breakouts, I test obviously the first move, right? I have a rough figure on how many percent and an average how many cents does the stock move up in the morning, right? And then I also know what is the average pullback, how many cents does it pull back on average, how many percent does it pull back on average, because all of this you can really, wait, hold up, you can see some volume coming in. So hold this thought, okay? Hold this thought on tracking statistics. So there is a lot of resistance. You can see on the bottom left right here how uneven the buy and sell is. On the buy side, you can see, okay, so somebody just placed a very big buy order on 143. But these singular giant buy orders are quite risky sometimes, because whoever places this order can just remove it at one shot. So always sort of have the idea of, can I let go my shares over the next few prices without any trouble? So by looking at this, right, I wouldn't be comfortable to buy more than 300 shares at most, 300 lots, sorry, because it'll be quite hard for me to clear my shares. And yeah, you can see the disparity between the sells, right? There's like thousands of lots on the sell side, but on the buy side it's very thin. So far only one price level is holding this stock up. One thing I did not do, wait, what? Something hit my alert. What was that? IYPG, okay. So IYPG hit my alert, that's fine. One thing I forgot to do was to look at the larger time frame to see where the resistance levels would be, to see whether it's worth, to see whether we are going to hit any heavy resistance on the way up. So we can see some decent resistance right here. A pivot, you can clearly see a pivot right here. So I mark this as a resistance point, 148. Usually when prices reject around 148, 149, the main resistance is usually the whole number, 150 or 1.600, that kind of whole number. So the next one will be quite high up. So there is some space to move, right? And we can see a previous run. That means this stock, there is people watching. So structure 2 is here. We can see the second structure. Consolidation is a bit short, but now we want to see structure 3 come. Structure 3 should come with increasing volume. So the volume did increase, but the trend right now is that it's downwards. So if I were to shoot out a prediction, it would come back down a little before trying again if it tries. The volume will probably dip down like that, and on the next push I want to see the volume come up. So right now I'll just get my order ready. I'll probably go in very small on this. But you can slowly see the breakout structure start to form. Still getting held up by only one price point. So if I can see like 1,000 orders from 140, 141, 142, then I'll be a lot more. It'll be a lot more. I have a lot more confidence in the entry, in entering slightly larger. So at least, yeah, we can see that the support is slowly building right here. So if we can see it pop up to about 1,000 orders, then it will be a lot nicer. So it's a divergence. Well, when it comes to volume, we don't really look at divergence. Maybe if you're playing with a MACD or RSI, you can start to look for some divergence, but right now, usually the volume, I don't really use it as I don't really look at it as a convergence or divergence. I just look at it as almost like a support to the direction, right? The more volume, that means there's more conviction. That means there's, how do I explain? The bias is stronger. So if the move is upwards, right, and the volume is high, that means it's a strong upwards move. That means there's a lot of people pushing it up. But there are some stocks with that shoot upwards with very low volume. That means that either it's getting manipulated or the stock just has very little supply. So there's many different things that you can understand from volume, but divergence is not one of the logics that I apply to volume. So I'm still gonna watch this pretty closely. So if you haven't already hit the like button, I would appreciate if you can just scroll down real quick and just tap it, right? I'm already seeing the effects. I'm sure those of you who have been watching me for a while, you are seeing the effects of helping me hit the like button. Right now we have not consistent, but the past few days we've been having 10 live viewers. And that is all thanks to all of your likes, and I've been seeing my content has been getting more recommendations on YouTube, right? I'll be completely transparent with you guys, because you guys are my community, and I want you guys to feel like, obviously you guys are the journey, you guys are the part of the journey. So I want you guys to feel as included as possible. So over the past few days, right, you can see that I haven't had a dead hour. By a dead hour, I mean every hour I've had at least one view in every hour. So that is something, it's a step in the right direction. Obviously, there was a spike in views here because I I posted my previous video on the Bursa bets on the Bursa bets subreddit. So very, very good step in the right direction, right? 200 subscribers, and I think most of the subscribers I've gotten so far are quite interested in this niche of trading, and obviously Bursa is the most accessible one so far lah. Okay, so notice how 143 is gone, right? Just like this, right? Without any volume. You saw 2,000 over lots, right? But where did it go? So 2,000 lots is about 200,000 shares, but look at the volume. The volume is only you can't see the number, but right here the volume, look on the right side of the axis. The volume right here is only about 40,000. So that is the risk of having only one level of support, right? The guy can pull the plug anytime. And usually if the volume is quite high, if the stock is quite volatile, the moment people see that a huge order gets pulled, right, they're gonna start selling. So that is the risk. So don't get baited by one single order. So Pro Turbo X, I saw you in the live stream yesterday. Have you joined the Discord? If you're interested in trading, please do join the Discord. We are getting more and more interaction, which is great. More ideas. And can you imagine? I'll try to share my vision with you guys, okay? Those of you who are already in the Discord, those of you who are part of the student Discord. My vision is honestly to build this community where it's almost like when 4 to 5 people know what to trade, right? When 4 to 5 people know what to trade, when 4 to 5 people are watching the market at the same time, we're going to have a lot more coverage. So moves that I would have missed if I traded alone, there's a higher chance that I would catch it. And same applies to you, right? There's a higher chance that you will catch it when one of the student members who knows what to look for already, they start to notify the group. So we almost have like a huge CCTV around the whole Bursa market. So that is the main goal, really. So that we can share ideas. And obviously, once you guys know how to backtest, right? Imagine if 4 people are backtesting, how much faster we would develop new strategies rather than just one person backtesting. Whether if it's 4 people working on one strategy or one person, one strategy, you can imagine how much stronger we will be as a group when we can test a lot more, we can test a lot faster. So honestly, that is the goal, right? That's why I set the entry price at such a low price. And for those of you who are thinking, wait, hold up, it's touching 143 already, so 145 again. Very, very big selling on, even if it breaks 146, right? You can see how much resistance there is. So this is one thing I want to test. One thing I can't test, I can't back test, I can only live test. This is how does heavy resistance affect the quality of a breakout. So someone pointed out GeneTech. Let me have a look. GeneTech, yes, it's the first structure is there, but it's missing the second structure for me. There's no second structure building. Sorry, there's no second structure building, right? I can't fit this anywhere. So Lsoft, let's have a look at Lsoft. Again, second structure is missing. Honestly, this could have been a nice catch, but I mean, the push was only about 3 ticks, which is 1.5 cents. So any potential moves later right now on Lsoft, I don't think I will be looking for a play here, because even if there was a play, it's really gone for my pattern at least. I think so far from what I've seen, I only like IYPG so far. Let me do a quick run. Sorry for jumping from topic to topic, but EITA again, close. Else, I just had a look at this. SL Best, JF Tech, Scorpnet. So a few familiar names. And sorry if the screen is like flashing here and there. Just jumping from stock to stock. SolarVest. No, I mean we have a upwards move. No second structure yet. Will I look at this for second structure? Possible. So it's forming a, I will call this maybe a B minus lah. I will rate this a B minus morning momentum. Not impossible, but not ideal either. JF Tech. Again, this is like when you start to look at these kind of stocks, right? You're without a doubt, you're gonna run into stocks that you sit in front of it and say like, is this a breakout? It kinda is, but it's not really. I mean, it kinda is, right? Would you agree? What do you think? Let me know. Yes or no? I mean, you could consider it a breakout. The shape is there, the structure is there. The shape and structure is definitely there, but this is where if you have very specific parameters, right, it'll be a lot easier for you to decide, right? If you know like how many cents you're looking for in the first move, right? How many cents you're looking for in the first move, and how many percent it retraced, right? Then we don't have to be in this position. We don't have to ask, it looks like it, but is it really? Right? If you have like parameters to it already, all you have to do is, does this fit my first structure? Does this fit my second structure's numbers? And blah blah blah. Easy for you to decide. You don't have to contemplate so much. I mean, at the end of the day, it does fit the structure, right? Just that hindsight after the move. I mean, we're watching after it moved already. I mean, you can tell that it's quite weak lah. SLVest did a breakout quite ugly. I just had a look at it, right? Yeah. Again, this is one of those things where, is it like borderline doesn't fit. It depends on how you set your pattern, right? That's why I said there's really no right or wrong when it comes to the stocks. It's just whether it fits what you're looking for, right? And you have to understand that your pattern will go and it will succeed and it will fail as well. So don't take, if it doesn't move, it doesn't mean that the pattern doesn't work, okay? You have to test it over a large sample size, and the only way for you to see consistent results is to consistently follow your rules. So if I were to be strict, right, since we are in a soft market, since we are in a slow market, anything that is less than A minus in my head, anything that's less than A minus, I wouldn't bother. So SCOMNet, this would be like an A minus. We have the first structure. The retracement is there, sort of. So it's kind of there, but it's not perfect. So this I will probably keep an eye on it, right? And then usually what I will just do, I mean, if you've been watching, I just put a line up here so I can just see where the high of the day is without thinking so much. Send alert and forget about it. Nissin, let's have a look. Any news? Why did it gap down so much? Such a small stock, but it gap down 20%. Ah, sad, dude. Sad. What happened here, man? Poor guy. Anyways, let's just get back. Since it's almost 9:50 already, I want to just finish up what I was saying about statistics, right? Every time I want to talk about statistics, this guy starts moving. God damn. So you can see it's breaking 145 already. So let's watch 146. Would we see? There's a lot of volume coming in, so I have my okay. I have my order ready in case it starts to break 146. So right now I'm just watching the orders in the bottom left, looking at the 4,000 lots, right? I want to see it start to crumble, but then again, you see how heavy the resistance is, right? 147, 148, 149. So this is one thing that I have to take note and then obviously keep track for the future so that I can refine my breakout strategy a bit more. Because this is 146 is starting to clear. I'll just place my order there and see how it goes. So let's see if we can get a fill on a retracement. If somebody sells, I mean, you can see my order right here. Oh, there we go. I got filled down on the sell. So I'm in 146 for small size. Small size for all the reasons that I mentioned earlier. Right? So no surprise that it doesn't fly straight away because of the amount of resistance that we can see. But I just want to stay consistent with my strategy and see. Try not to let too many external factors influence it. At least until I test it. I don't want to let too many factors influence this. Quality of the breakout, not ideal. You can see that it's not really smooth, continuous candles. But I'm in at 146 for the break. Rather small size. You can see 150 is the final frontier that we have to break before we get the move. Probably we can probably look for a move up to about, I mean, based on my lines, 160 will be the next resistance that we will face. And looking at this, yep, looks like probably 150 onwards, 160 will be the next resistance. So set a target slightly below, maybe 148. Hard target would be, let me do calculations, 153, 154. Technical target will be about 147, 148. So let's see if the volume continues pushing. So it's a good sign that we didn't get a gigantic sell-off right away. But we can see that it's rather slow because of all the resistance right here. Right here. You can see 2000, 2000, 2000, 2000. So we're going to need quite a lot of volume to come in just to push this up. Obviously, there's another resistance right here, 148 that I pinpointed earlier. And 150 is the psychological level for resistance as well. I won't be surprised to see it come down a little, retrace down maybe to 140. Let's see, 141-ish if it retraces. But not too big of a worry lah, because I bought in slightly smaller. Okay, since now that we're in this stock, right? I'll just send an alert if it starts to dip down, because I'm about to talk about I want to finish talking about the stats, the statistics and the point of having a group. And if it starts to break 150, then I would want to look at it as well. So alerts do the work for me. Okay, tell me if I have too many alerts. One sec. Let's see what's useless. This is useless. Okay, if it breaks above 150, then I'll be interested. Okay, so I explained the reason why I want to start a group lah, right? It's really not for the money. If I wanted to make money from the group, 149 doesn't make any sense, right? 149 doesn't make any sense when literally one trade for me is like 10 to 20 times of one single subscription. Obviously, it will be significant once if I can get like 50 to 100 students. But wait, let me take some then. I wouldn't play this because the first move in the morning not really as strong as I like. There is volume, yes, there is volume, but it doesn't really fit this shape. You see the difference? I want to see very clear. Like when I look at it, I don't want to think, is this a strong move? When I look at this, I see like it did go up a bit, but it's not very significant. So back to this. So why do I charge 149 only for students? One is because the main goal here is to look for people who are willing to commit. If I make it free, which I have for a few people, I made it free for a few people as a trial. They're not here. So all of those who are currently in the live stream, okay, half of there, I can see one of you who are on the free trial. I'm not sure in the YouTube live stream how many of you are part of the free trial right now. But most of the people who I let in for free just to test, right, just to have a control group, just to prove my point, none of them are here. See, I don't want to have any freeloaders. I don't want freeloaders to come in and waste my time. I set 149 because it is enough money for you to sort of get committed. It's almost like a gym membership, right? You pay the membership and you feel bad for not going because you've paid the money, so might as well go. Same for this. Since you've paid 149 for it, might as well come in a live stream, right? And at the same time, it doesn't break your bank. Most of you spend 149 on a single meal. You're willing to, I'm sorry, I take that back. I meant to say you're willing to spend 149 on a single meal. So that tells me that obviously I'm generalizing here. Please don't get offended, but I hope you get the point. The 149 benefits you more than it benefits me, right? The point of me setting the price is so that you get committed. I don't want people to waste my time, and honestly, my main goal is to build a group of people who know how to trade, so that we can obviously, one, trade together, which is a lot less boring than trading alone, and two, it's nice to help people, right? It would be very nice to know that I managed to get somebody on, right? Get somebody to start trading, something like that. That's a more selfish reason. But as a whole, as a group as a whole, think about how efficient we will be when we have 4 to 5 people looking at the markets. Let's say, especially if you're working, right? Let's say I look at the markets in the first 5 minutes of the hour, somebody else looks at the market at the half an hour mark, somebody looks at the market at the 45-minute mark. Think of how efficient we'll be. Think of how many opportunities we will catch, how many more opportunities we'll catch. And at the same time, backtesting, right? Even though my method has worked in the past 6 months, it had obviously there's always room for improvement, right? I'm not afraid to tell you that my strategy isn't perfect, but I know that the process, my methodology of approaching trading is very effective. All the backtesting, instead of fundamental analysis, there's not much conviction to it. That's just my opinion, by the way, okay? I'm not trying to insult all the investors, but to me, I prefer to take a methodological approach where a more scientific, more mathematical approach, rather than trying to bet on a company that I think should go up in the future. So there's constant improvements. Right now, I have parameters ready for my breakout, but you can tell that based on just today alone, you can tell that there's a lot of improvements left to go. And having a team to sort of back each other up on testing will be one of the strongest parts of trading, in my opinion. Having a team test something like, if something as stupid as how many breakouts, what is the percent win rate if a breakout stays above the VWAP? If I were to test that alone, it won't take long. But if I want to test how many percent of breakouts that stay above 50% succeed, how many breakouts that stay above, let's say, how many breakouts that have heavy resistance after the break succeed. So it's those kind of things that I can do it, but it will take a lot of time. So having a group will speed that up so much. And obviously, hopefully you understand that there's almost no limits to the statistics that you can track. It might not come to you immediately now, but when you start asking the right questions, when you start playing the breakouts right, one day you will suddenly ask, I wonder if the stock breaks below this blue line, what are the chances that it goes up? So those kind of things that you pick up on the way, those are the questions you ask that will make you get better, refine your strategy non-stop. Okay, enough ranting. It's 10 o'clock. Right now I'm still in IYPG. My stop out will be if it breaks 141, I'll start to look for exits already. I mentioned my targets earlier. Target is roughly 153, 154, and if I see strong momentum, I'll hold it to about 158, 157, and if it can break 160, obviously I'll hold it until I see the first selling and I'll let it go. So thank you all for tuning in again today. It's 10 a.m. Legally obliged. 149 is the most expensive I've seen. You have to know the difference between what I provide and what other people provide. Most people, they don't teach you the method of doing it yourself. Most people, they build a structure where you depend on them so that you are forced to keep buying, or they build a 1-year structure so that you're tied in. That's why I made it monthly as well. So you can pull out anytime you want. If you're thinking of, like, let's say those people who sell yearly subscriptions, where you buy once and then you get it for the whole year, sure, they might have, in terms of dollar value, they might provide better dollar value per month. But in my opinion, I know the value of my time, right? because I'm putting a lot of time into this as well. And you have to think of it from my perspective, where you ask yourself whether it makes sense for me to spend this much time just to get 35 ringgit an hour from you, when I could be making thousands in 5 minutes. Not trying to brag, but that is the reality, right? Whether it's worth my time. Anyways, I believe in the value of my strategy, and I believe that it's one of those things where if you stick with me for 5 to 6 months, these lessons, these process that you learn, you are going to carry it for the rest of your life. And you never know, it will indirectly affect your external life as well. It will indirectly affect like how you look at the process when solving other problems. And also, I'm forcing you to wake up at 9 a.m. every day, so that's a good habit. I'm kidding. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you to those who are in the student group already. Thanks for giving me your trust. Even though these lessons are still at the baby stages, I can't guarantee results in the first few months, but I can guarantee that you will understand how I do it, and I guarantee you will look at trading from a different perspective. That I will guarantee. Okay, so as usual, I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. I will update the result of this trade on the trading Discord. And yeah, hope you have a great day ahead. Make sure you record your trades. Those of you who are part of the student group, make sure you record your trades. If you took this trade alongside me, wherever you buy, wherever you want to sell, make sure you record it. There's no right or wrong, okay? Make sure you record it. Okay, so see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Hit the like button if you haven't already. If you're new, subscribe, and I'll see you again.